congratulate JMU on that victory. Very disappointing loss. I thought our defense played well. Still too many penalties in the game at critical times. The one hands to the face penalty in the second half that kept that drive going. We had a third down stop. They ended up scoring on that drive. Was a huge play in the game. Not connecting with Ted on a perfect play call. Overthrowing him, not giving the receiver a chance was really bad from a execution standpoint with the throw. Special teams, the last punt was really good. Several other punts didn't match the hang and putting our gunners and our punt team in danger. The two fake punts that limited our possessions in the first half really took a toll on our defense from a physicality and duration standpoint, in my opinion. We only really had 3 possessions on offense in the first half because of those two fake punts. Got to commend our defense. They played very hard, tackled well. A lot of self-inflicting pre-snap penalties with our O-line. And we got to do better offensively. That's not the type of offense that can sustain when your defense plays that well. We got to do a better job of putting a better plan together, getting the right guys the touches. Up front, obviously we couldn't run the ball, so they really controlled the line of scrimmage and negated the run game, which I felt like whoever ran the ball the best was going to win this game, and JMU did run the ball better than we did statistically. Proud of our guys, but we're not in the sentimental losses, and I got to do better as a leader. Appreciate the people that came to the game, our fans. We got to lick our wounds, assess our injuries, and really go back to the drawing board and come with a better game plan next week. But I do appreciate our guys' intensity. We're still getting bit in the butt with small details, and all that stems from practice. With that, I open up for questions.
Yeah, with the false starts, with the pre-snap stuff, I guess. I know you've mentioned before it's a focus issue, but I guess what specifically is happening? Is it play coming in late? Is it?
Yes, play comes in late, sub in late. I mean, just bad coaching, just overall bad coaching, and that's on me. I'll take the blame for it.
Discouraging that it's still happening after you have an open week to kind of address it.
Yeah, it's not. It is very discouraging, but I mean, we got to have more urgency in those situations, and there's some things we got to just go back and discuss and see how we move forward.
Yeah, it kind of goes a little bit to what he's asking, because you came out the game very good defense. I mean, they had 6 penalties in the first quarter. They didn't record a third down in the first quarter. They only had 8 passing yards. So obviously the coaching was very good in that first quarter. What was the biggest difference in the collapse in the last 3 quarters?
I wouldn't say the last 3 quarters. We had a lead going into halftime. It was just 2 fake punts that they executed, and I think our defense may have been on the field maybe 20 straight plays because of the 2 fake punts that JMU executed. So lack of assignments, bad call with that, and luckily our defense bowled up their necks and stopped, JMU from scoring. So I wouldn't say we played a bad quarter. Offensively, we only had 3 possessions, and then the fourth possession was one where it was 20-something seconds left, and we're just trying to see if we could get some type of play off a big play. But we got to protect better. We got to do a lot better in the line of scrimmage on offense, and everything starts there. And our quarterback decision making and getting the ball out. But it's tough when we're not protecting well and we're backing up 5 because of delay of game and false starts and just self-inflicted wounds that we can't handle. And when we don't have a good running game, you allow a team to pin their ears back and dictate to you what's going on, then those are the things that kind of happen.
What are some things you think you can work on for the running game to improve it over the next few games?
Yeah, we just got to work on being physical, being a lot more physical, and that has to happen in practice. and we got to get more pushing and maybe finding different guys. I got to go back and look at the film, see what we did wrong, see what the miscues were, and then kind of go from there.
With the fake punts, and I don't know if it was the exact same play, but it was the same play or looked like a similar.
No, it was the
look.
same exact one. Same exact
I guess
look.
how quick is the debrief usually on the sideline in that situation for this fake just got us getting ready for it because it did get you the second time before
Yeah,
you adjust?
I would say this. You got to commend JMU for 4th and 15 and doing a fake right there. That was risky. And, you got to give them credit for doing that. Of course, from a special teams organization, you just don't expect that they would call that. And they executed. So it's kudos to them. And, I mean, you're really, really not calling a fake 4th and 15. I mean, just like I said, kudos to them.
Switching gears to the other side of things, what do you like about your linebacker safety plays? And like for a lot of the game, they were able to say Josiah making plays, DIC, Jordan Huff.
Yeah, those guys tackle well. We knew we had to tackle well. Still let some things out that shouldn't have been let out. They started running more outside zone when they started moving the ball a little bit, and defense made a good job of adjusting to that scheme. And championship football, you got to make championship plays, and you got to coach on a championship level, and we didn't do that tonight.
On your 4th and 18, you decided to go for it. What was the decision making on that?
Time in the game, wasn't no need to punt. It's always going to be a go. I just wish it wasn't as long. It wouldn't have been as long if we don't jump off sides and self-inflict things. So we got to protect longer on that. Quarterback threw the ball to the back. He couldn't go down with the ball, but throwing the ball to the back really doesn't do any good. But the quarterback really didn't have time to throw the ball downfield.
Is there ways, you're talking about playing cleaner up front, is there ways to even further simplify what you're doing from a blocking schematics perspective?
I just think it's going to go back to physicality and points. I got to go and watch the tape, see who got their butt kicked, see if it was the play call, see if it was what we're calling. We all have a onus on that, and I'll take the first responsibility. And that's my fault for the plan and us losing this football game.
I guess what's the message to the team when you come out? Not a blow or anything, but you're right there. What's the message to the team when you have defense gets on the penalty and things like that, trying to get ready for next week?
Yeah, I addressed our team just now, and commended our defense for playing their butt off. The 3rd down penalty on Marlon Dean, hands to the face, we can't allow because they had a shutout going, and they was 3rd and 9, and they probably had to punt the ball in that situation as well. But you can't carry how you played in this game and think it's going to happen the next game. It's going to go back to the process of practicing well on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Great walkthroughs from a mental standpoint, and bringing the game plan to the field on Saturday. So it's just trusting the plan, trusting the process, but we got to do better offensively to help our defense out and score points. I mean, that's the name of the game. Can't score 7 points, expect to win. And we had an opportunity. We also had an opportunity with Ted on the screen play. Just one missed block on that play. That ball had a chance to go to the house. Even, the missed field goal and a penalty bit us in the butt when Ted broke the hitch in the first drive. We didn't get any points out of that. So we gotta execute better.
If I can ask something a little more granular, seemed like out of the bye week, switched something up defensively. You had Deuce Walker look like he was playing outside. You had Deuce Fillmore playing some nickel. Was that something? Was it personnel based, or was it just something you saw that you wanted to put those guys in different spots? Or
yeah, like I said, we're trying to find our best players, and we're kind of identifying that, and that kind of went into that process of making sure we got the right guys on the field, and Deuce Fillmore progressing at that spot. He's a good run stopper. He's a good cover guy as well, so he adds value to that spot. Where we had Chandler Jordan starting, no knock on Chandler Jordan being a freshman. He played a lot of snaps, but and Chandler's continued to get better as well. So, like I said, we're creating the identity I think that we want to be, because I want to be a good defensive football team. Because if you can go in any game with a good defense, you got a chance to win every single game. And I'm a defensive-minded coach, and I spend a lot of time on that side of the ball.
Just your thoughts on probably what feels like a missed opportunity and a one-score loss, how the offense played.
Just a lot of miscues, a lot of penalties. We got to play way cleaner if we want to beat anybody, especially when we're going against a good opponent. So those miscues hurt us even more. So we just got to play way cleaner.
What can you take away from this game as you move forward, clean some things up, and look for another W?
Like you said, we got to play way cleaner. We got to take advantage of every opportunity that's given to us. We got to have our defense back, really, at the end of the day. It's hard to lose a game when the other team only puts up 14 points. So, we got to have our defense back. We got to put points on the board. Whatever it takes, we just got to put points on the board.
Obviously, in a losing effort, but you had some catches over the middle. Feel like maybe you had your best overall game as a receiver. Did you feel something going in this week, feeling good?
Yeah. I knew I was going to have opportunities to get the ball, but you never really know until you go out there and the play is called and whatever the defense is run. So it's just always expecting it, just you never really know. So, things worked out for me to get the ball this game, but yeah.
What is the message that you all have to the defense when you feel like you let them down? What do you say to them so that they're still encouraged that the offense is going to do their job?
I know personally, one of the first things I said when I walked in, the defense, they balled out. Like we got to have their back. I told them I appreciate them. They balled out. They flew around. They did what they were supposed to. They had a couple mistakes, but at the end of the day, they was able to get done what they're supposed to get done. We always ask them to never give up. 35 points. If a team don't get 35 points, we should win that game. And they more than did that. So, I came in there, they did their job, and we got to do ours now.
When you look at the penalties in this game, can you kind of look at it like a discipline or maybe communication from your point of view?
I feel like it's a discipline thing. Everything that was called a penalty, we work on it at practice. Our cadence, we work on it at practice. We gotta be able to focus and lock in when the moments come. It's just a lot of stuff going on, but we gotta hone in on what that task is in the hand. And if it's on two, that's what we gotta focus on right there in that moment. So, yeah.
One of the biggest Achilles heel on offense is the running game. So how do you supplement that when the running game's not doing well, that all of the pressure now goes on to the wide receivers in the passing game?
Personally, I kind of like it. I like that. Being on our back. And I feel like that's what we want to do. But to be able to pass the ball, you have to be able to run the ball. You want those defenders to come up and think that it's going to be a run. So it makes the passing easier. If they drop an 8, it does make it a little bit harder. So, we do have to establish a run game to establish anything else, to even establish a pass game. So that's something we got to work on. And we know next week that's something that is going to be a big focus.
I know no offensive players ever committed holding, but when that flag is thrown, is it a technique thing? What happens in those moments that is going to cause guys to commit a holding?
It's like when a defender is getting out of your framework to say, and you're still holding. So if you're engaged and as soon as they see shoulders turned or any sign of disengaged and you're still holding on, it's one of those subjective calls we like to call it. It's not up to our hands. It's whatever the officials deems as holding or not. So, yeah.
What's your expectation for the next game?
Expectation? I expect every game we're going to go out there and win. But it starts with what we do tomorrow when we come in and watch it. It starts what we do Monday through Friday. I expect us to come in. I expect us to lock in. And I expect everybody to expect to win. If we don't expect to win, then how are you supposed to go out there and win? So we got to expect to win and act like we're expecting to win. That means practice like we're going to win. That means everything. If it's lift, that means lifting like we're going to win. That's watching film like we're going to win. It takes everything. Even cleaning the locker room like we're going to win. It's the little things. It takes everything. And I feel like we still got to hone in on it and lock in on it. It's just you have to expect to win to even have a chance to win.
What's the message that you have to the guys who may feel discouraged? Was a tough loss. You're now 1-4 and your first conference loss. How do you encourage those guys that, like you said, may not have the expectation the same way you do?
JMU was supposed to be the best team in our conference, they say, and we lost this game by 7 points. We still have everything we want in front of us. I feel like any team that we're going against, like we expect to win every game, and it's just like we got to keep that mindset. We have everything we want still in front of us. Just people just can't be discouraged. What we looking forward to is to win every week, and at the end have a chance to go win the Sun Belt Championship. So that's still on the mind of everybody, and if that's what everybody wants, that's what we got to go get every week.
Some takeaways from that game versus the last 4 games that we played. We definitely played tougher. Defense played a very great job. You know, offense, you know, they had some miscues, and defense as well. But we're going to clean that up on starting tomorrow. Our focus now is App State, but we're going to definitely, you know, make something shake in this Sun Belt Conference.
What were some of the keys you had going into this game and for your group as well of being ready for this James Madison offense?
Well, first off, we had to see, you know, which QB was going to be in the game. Like 14, he was going to be in the game, possibly, you know, more pass than run. And then 9, he was going to be in the game, more run than pass. Then we moved to the running back, see who's going to be playing, see who's not going to be playing, and then tight ends as well. Try to see who's more dominant, who's not. And then receivers as well, you know, try to see, you know, who's going to be playing, who's not. And then O-line as well, you know, the D-line, they're going to handle that, and the linebackers as well.
What was the key to stopping their running backs? Both of them had over 100 yards in the last game. What were some of the things that you guys did to keep them under 100 yards this game?
Be physical, play hard and be physical. That's all we talk about in the meetings every single time. At the start of the meetings, that's always on the first slide, play hard.
I guess after some struggles in the first month of the season, was it a point of pride for you guys' defense to hold them without a point in the first half of this game?
Basically, we knew we had to play hard. We knew we needed to bring the physicality to them and not take the physicality to us. Be the hammer instead of the nail, basically, and just keep that momentum going in the second half. But I mean, we see how the outcome went, but we're gonna fix it tomorrow.
Speaking of the outcome, there were 15 penalties in this game. How do you, as a player, plan to help clean that up for the next game?
Just discipline, accountability. You know, our head coach, he always talks about accountability. We got 4 C's. It's called connection, commitment, competitiveness, and composure. That last one, composure, you know, I know we had 15 penalties, but everybody got to keep their composure when stuff like that happens so that you never know what's going to happen in the game. You never know what type of outcome you're going to get.
For you at this point, working through a couple of years, now getting time to play some serious snaps, I guess, how has that journey been for you getting onto the field playing college football pretty regularly now?
It's a pretty good feeling. I've always kept my head down, try to play hard. You know, it always starts off in practice. Anytime like somebody asks me, you know, throughout the week, I'm like, it starts off in practice. And they always like, you know, why you say that? Because it do. You know, you got to play hard in practice, and it's going it's going to happen in the game as well. I've been doing that for freshman and sophomore year. You know, everybody's like, oh, why you going hard? You know, everybody got to go hard during practice as well and in the game.